continuing with our lecture on Rufino Tamayo. Oh, one last very important thing. And that is that I'm not announcing it because this is almost like, for me, it's like an intellectual script piece that I'm doing. I'm opening my webpage. I thank Lily, Lama, and Carla for helping me so much with it, and Adriana. And in this webpage, gregorioluke.com, I'm going to put every article that I've written, and then I also have everything I like. My favorite clothes, my favorite records, my favorite books. You're going to find out that I'm a closet admirer of Britney Spears and things like that. My favorite Mexican restaurants where you can get the right tacos, the right tortillas, which are, in my view, are the best shoes, the best neckties. It's kind of ego gone wild. But check it out. I'm not announcing it because I know that it's full of mistakes. So hopefully you can help me find those mistakes and make it a little bit better. You know? So please, www.gregorioluke.com, and I intend to make it almost like if it were a literary piece. Eventually I would like to have every lecture I do, every TV show I've done, every radio show, every article I've written, everything that I like and I think, and I want to make it completely free. Well, so, see what you think. Rufino Tamayo, as I said before, is interested in a wide variety of subjects. One of them is music. And he does a series of paintings about music. This one, for example, is one of his most famous works called Músicas Dormidas, Sleeping Musicians. And again, with a great economy of color and form, he communicates this idea. And you see it in many occasions in which the paintings literally reverberate with rhythm and color. Flautists, pianists. He also is very interested in the elements. In addition of the stars that we have mentioned before, he's very interested in fire. But the fire in Tamayo is very different from, say, the fire as painted by Orozco. Because he is interested not so much in the meaning of fire, but in the texture of fire. He does several murals about Prometheus and about fire. And in Puerto Rico, in the University of Puerto Rico, he completes this great mural, enter mural please, in which we see well, you can't see the central part now, but there you go. Gee, I have no stairs. I would like to. Whoa. Let me see if I can get down here. These things are. Don't follow me with the light, because if you follow me with the light, people are not going to be able to see the mural. So, see here, you see the figure of Prometheus. But more than presenting him like a person, he breaks him down. And so that his body becomes like a flame, like another flame. And then here you see the static figures that are receiving the fire. And then notice the world of darkness, of grays, in contrast with the world of fire and color. So what's more, in Tamayo you have the interest of the light, of the form. And it appeals to you in a manner that is directly to the senses. It gives you this contrast. You feel the fire, you feel the color, you feel the presence. There is not so much a narrative in the painting as there is the sensual experience of fire. Exit mural, please. Mireya, can you see me? I want to thank, by the way, all my friends that are above in that scaffolding. Christian, Mireya, Lindy, all of you are up there with the glasses. The 60s are, as you know, a period of great transformation. It is a time when the young people of the world challenge the status quo, challenge the notions in which society is founded. And you have great transformations in the US, but also in France and in Europe. There is a change of the aesthetics, the introduction of new forms of music, of new styles. And so the hippie movement is born. I always believe that the great cultural revolution happened precisely in the 60s. Next, please. It is also the time in which the women movement begins, the sexual revolution begins, the opposition to totalitarian societies, not only in Czechoslovakia against the Soviet Union, but also in Mexico against the repressive government. And a lot of artists focus in the repressive part of the 60s. The closing, the imprisonment of young people. However, Tamayo presents these images of hope, of radiant happiness, like this figure that is dominated by this huge smile. And Tamayo would explain that for him, when there is revolution, where there is rebellion, there is happiness because there is hope that the world can renew itself and that the world can be better. Enter mural, please. One of my favorite murals of Tamayo is the one he painted in the United Nations. And it's called Fraternity. And it's a very simple mural. In it you see these figures that are shadows that are not, nothing is obvious. So you don't see the black guy with the white guy and the yellow guy and all together singing Kumbaya, no? They're just people together holding hands. And what is magnificent is the fire, the central fire. And then he has this figure that is a kind of a stylized pyramid. And then this one that is like a stylized skyscraper. And you have these figures holding hands around the fire. Again, very simple, and yet it communicates everything you need to know about fraternity. Tamayo always seems to be able to get to the essence of things, to the core of things. Exit mural, please. And in the late 60s, Tamayo begins a series of paintings about geography. This painting, for example, is called Coast. And it is as if you were looking at a landscape from the sky. There's two murals of Tamayo that I've been looking for. They're about Israel. One is called Israel of Yesterday, and it's like a desert. And the other one is Israel of Today, and it's green and blue. And I've not been able to find them. It's a pity. It's one of those great artistic testimonies in which we often hear that geography is the mother of history. But we can also look at it in another way and see history as the mother of geography.